as Dr. Asha is here.
Shakti Padi, where there was growth for both of them to growing together. That is when the Manomaya and Vijnanamaya Kosha prosper. So that is when they realize that their thoughts are so aligned, and what they want out of life and how they want to serve the community. Everything is so in sync. But when they get into Shakti Padi, Anna Padi, Shakti Padi, and Sampat Padi, then they realize the prosperity is short lived. There is not much that we are going to achieve together, and he realizes, without Sati, how is he able to even think of his life? With great difficulty, he makes up his mind to marry somebody, and he is a Vairagi, and this girl has accepted him the way he is, and she is not getting expecting him to change for her and respecting him. Whatever a man need out of a woman, whatever a masculine energy wants from a feminine energy, complementing each other. So that is what Shiva expected, and Sati was exactly the same. Now he's holding her from toes and thinking that this sampat padi, the sampat of my life, the prosperity of my life is so short lived. So how do I pass through? How do I navigate? A lot of questions in Purusha's mind. Holding the finger of the Shakti, the vital energy, the consciousness is so doubtful. So please understand that when we walk our life, there are certain incidents that we might feel. We know that this person is not going to be with us. The person whom I love, I'm going to lose one day. Already it is informed, already mentally I need to prepare. So this is the portion of Shiva Purana that makes our mind so strong that how could Shiva literally think the person who is not born to anybody, who doesn't have his parents, who doesn't have his children, and even the beauty is the dream, whatever that he had, that she is going to be his wife and they are going to construct, the human construction is going to happen with both of their unity, is not going to happen, which he is clearly aware of. And realizing that, looks at Sati, and the Sati is giving a wonderful smile that, which is the reflection of Sampat. That smile itself is a prosperity. The smile itself was a prosperity, that I accept you and you are my, guiding force, and you are my guru, and I see my prosperity in your eyes. That was even more tough for Shiva to really give back, reflect the smile that is coming out of Sati's face. And the next padi was the Sukha Padi, the experience of joy. So when Shiva goes through this, Shiva has two questions in front of him. Here and now, and thinking about future. Even Shiva had this. Should I think that Sati is there with me today now, or should I feel for tomorrow? So he was in Dvandva. Lot of times Sukha comes with Dvandva. If you go back and realize, there is a happiness quotient sitting, but comes with a challenge. In everybody's life, you cannot experience 100% happiness. So to experience that bliss, you have to face certain challenges in life. So that is why spirituality is out of pain, it is not out of pleasure. That is why I say, to experience that bliss, we may have to surpass, we may have to win over so many battles, which is rugged and tough phase to pass. So this is exactly Shiva thinks at that time, no, I have to be here and now. Because Sati is making face, why this person is not happy. So looking at Sati, he feels, no, I should not entertain this thought of tomorrow. So I have to be with her now. Whatever days that she is going to be with me, I'm going to completely going to take care of her. So he feels that, every second that I look at Sati should create such memory in my mind that I should not lose her. That should become my strength. So now he is looking at Sati and feeling the strength within, and Sati becomes strength, not weakness. So that is when he starts experiencing the sukha of this relationship. The next is the Prajapadi. Now, here the Kashyapa asks Shiva, okay, I understand the Annapadi, I understand the Shaktipadi, I do understand Sampatpadi and Sukhapadi. What is Prajapadi? So out of the seven Saptapadis, Prajapadi is most important, that the husband and wife have to take it as the primary responsibility of creating a legacy for future generations. So Kashyapa asked, what is this? I would like to know more about it. So Shiva will start educating Kashyapa. It's a beautiful chapter. If you have time, you can go back and read. It's a wonderful chapter where he explains, legacy. What is legacy? What is meant by legacy? Legacy is free from three things. One, materials. Okay, you cannot make legacy out of materials. Buying properties and making huge money is not legacy. Number two, legacy is not the sambandha, the relationship. Okay, none of the relationships can become legacy. Like I marry 12 people, 12 women, and my legacy is to bring the strongest people on this earth. No, that cannot create any legacy. Number three, personal achievements cannot become legacy. What is legacy is the legacy is the empty space created out of nothing. That's what Shiva explains Kashyapa. Okay, what is this empty space created out of nothing? How is there anybody who can answer me? What is this? Legacy is equal to emptiness created out of nothing.
Is it something similar to what Parashurama did with his after he conquered the entire land? He created extra land by no, not
No,
that.
because this is
Detachment.
free from boom. This is free from acquiring. This is free from personal successes. This is free from all learning, the knowledge that you hold, the materials. Emptiness created out of nothingness.
Detachment, ma'am.
You
Is
are
it,
closer.
maybe patterns or behaviors which help you to succeed, or, which generally well being, which promote well being, or, it promotes growth for
Hmm.
people? Is that legacy?
No.
When
Again,
you
I'm going to tell you it is away from success, personal success stories. It is away from community success stories. It is
Saran,
emptiness.
When you feel complete because you have nothing and you want nothing, as in the complete detachment, but the detachment happens with the knowledge, and you
Hmm.
feel complete where actually there is nothing.
Shiva explains emptiness is something that has no form, no function. Okay? And nothingness is which has form and function but invisible. Okay? Example, there is some power which is letting you think, which is letting you breathe. As soon as the child is born, who has taught this child to cry? Who has taught this child to suckle milk? Okay? This is the do you accept there is an unknown energy which doesn't have form, which doesn't have function? And do you also know that the things that we touch, the things that we feel, the things that we see has form and function? So when you bring these together, legacy gets created. Example, Abdul Kalam. There was a form, there was a function. Okay? So when you think of Abdul Kalam, compassion comes to your mind. Intelligence comes to your mind. Isn't it? Yeah? There is a form, there is a function. He was a scientist and he functioned as a scientist. But as a human being, okay, how was he? Nothingness. He was free soul, he was free spirit. There was nothing that could hold him and bind him and control and condition him.
Count up.
Be it the President of India, he took his own chair on the dais. That is called as legacy, right? So, as husband and wife, working towards these two things to come together as stronger individuals are very important. Sometimes husband acts as emptiness and wife as nothingness. Sometimes wife acts like emptiness and the husband nothingness. That's when we complement each other. One work for the success, one work for keeping the focus goals and everything. The other one will start building up that punya. So that is exactly Shiva Shakti or Shiva Parvati did in, it's a present tense. Okay? One working for the formless, the other working with the form. That's why we say Purusha and Prakriti. Yeah, husband and wife, when they come together, when they leave back the legacy, it's not about how many children, it's not about how the children are doing in their respective professional area, or it's not about how much property they made. It's about how much unforgettable and cherishable memories that they have built for the future generation. Vivekananda is a legacy. The Ramakrishna mission, even today, the Vivekananda Foundation, it's all legacy. So, this is what Shiva speaks about legacy when he talks about legacy or when he speaks about the Sukha. This is the experience, this is the joy. Yeah, and this is the Prajapadi. So, after comes the Ritupadi. What does Ritupadi? Cycles. How husband and wife has to be together and respect and honor the cycles of life. So again, there will be a lot of questions there, and Shiva will answer what is this Ritu Padi about. This is the sixth Padi, the most underrated Padi in our present day husband and wife relationship, and most important padi in husband and wife relationship. So what is this Ritu Padi? Respecting the cycles of each other. Number one is the Sharira Ritu. Okay, Bhava Ritu. So everything is a cycle. Sharira is a cycle. Okay, Bhava has a cycle. Yeah. And Chitta has a cycle. Sambandha has a cycle. Shakti has a cycle and Shiva has a cycle. There are the six ritus in our life. And women has a different ritu and men has different ritu. What happens over the period of time? We are fighting for equality. We can never be equal. I'll tell you. Yeah, because of our cycles are different. Number one is the Sharira, sleep. How much are we awake? How much are we sleeping? How much are we dreaming? Everything is a cycle. REM, in REM, then you go to the state of Turium when you meditate. Okay, that is a cycle. Hunger and digestive cycles. Our sharira is works on cycles. You know, the winking of eye. Okay, the way we assimilate and the way we eat, the way the food gets digested and gets excreted is a cycle. Yeah, the way we breathe, breathing is a cycle. So there is Sharira cycle that both of them has to honor it, not ignore. When you ignore, imbalance gets created in Sambandha. When you honor it, harmony gets created, sprouted. So the first thing, I think Deepthi and others who are all listening or yet to get married, the first thing that you have to sit and talk and honor is the Sharira cycle, how your physical body is functioning. So it is very less spoken. Are you healthy? Okay, diabetes normal, BP normal, all blood parameters are all normal. So my physical body is normal. No, we don't speak about our cycle. So how is my sleep cycle? How is my hormonal cycle? Because the whole reproduction is a cycle. Your menstrual is a cycle. Yeah, menopause is a cycle. Andropause is a cycle. Okay, it is very less spoken. Why do you think after 45, 50, husband and wife keep knocking at each other's door and are so irritated with each other? Because hardly it is spoken. They get into andropause, which is less spoken again, and we get into menopause, which is less understood in the environment. Right? This is what Shiva narrates, that husband and wife and the family has to honor Sharira Ritu. That is when you feel that the family has accepted you. It's not about accepting at a physical level, doesn't mean that somebody has accepted you looking at your beautiful hair and eyes. Okay. Number two is Bhavarit. So everyone emote. And there is a cycle for our bhava, for our emotions. Number one, joy will expand our life. You are a husband and wife. The more joy you have in your life, the more innocence you bring in your life expands. When I say life expands, it's not about the span that I am speaking. The more open eye conversation will happen. You need not have to tolerate each other. Number one. And number two is grief withdraws each other. It will create gap. So what is that one has to do when one person is going through grief? Silence. Otherwise, both of them withdraw. It's a slow process, but it's a definite process. If one is not understanding the dukkha of another person, inside my mind, I already feel this person doesn't need me, he doesn't take care of me. It's a very important thing. Yeah, one word, are you okay? I'm there for you. It's all is enough. But we don't even tell that one word. Okay, it is understood. That day, January 14th, I understood and took care of this lady. Why does she need me to do every day? And vice versa. So, this is very important that if withdrawal shouldn't happen, each other has to understand grief and be in the process of grief. One has to talk, one has to let others speak and be comfortable. And number three is anger. Anger creates energy surge in the relationship. What is energy surge?
Sudden expansion of energy or sudden burst of energy.
Two kinds of energy surge happens. One, we can't handle our own energy. Swiggy surge, Dunzo search, cab search, unavailable. For another person, your energy is not available or it is over available. That is a very awkward and a difficult phase to deal with. So this is bhava. This is a cycle.
Ma'am, sorry,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes,
Can you
yes.
please give an example of that, ma'am? Energy search.
Example is Morning, my husband would have told me, by the time you come, you'll have a surprise. All day, I'm only thinking about that surprise. He told, he forgot, and he is in his own world. And when I go home, nothing is seen. Okay, I get disappointed. He is not available to even listen to this disappointment. And he doesn't even remember that he told me this. That is an energy search. Or else, a small thing, somebody, a third person problem, we both will fight cats and dogs. That is an outburst of energy. That energy is not at all needed. You just have to evaluate out of your 100 fights, 89 to 90 fights is for the other people, not for you. It doesn't fall only. So, it is very important when we study Bhava cycle, are we withdrawing from each other? And is energy surge happening either from his side or my side? And fear. Fear needs protection, not insult. You are afraid of all this. Oh, lot of times it is not attended in a positive way. So fear can be attended in a positive way only if an other person is protective by nature. The sense of belonging and love. Without bond, love doesn't exist. The trust building has to happen. And finally, silence. Silence is the integrity. Can you take each other's silence? I want you all to do an exercise with your partner today. Just be silent. Just watch each other's face and just notice the kind of emotions that pop up. You really feel heavy here. There's a lot of stored emotions that you wouldn't have said or you wouldn't have exchanged. Okay? Lot of men may not like to participate, but if they participate, you will feel the bliss. Okay? So, this is about the Bhava Ritu, which is less spoken, which is less treated, entertained, because we postpone our problems and Bhava usually. This is not the place to think, this is not the place to emote, this is not the time, my time is going to come, right? The next is the Chitta Ritu, how both of you use your mind. Lot of times, the things that has to be attended from here, we use this. Some things, Navi, the gut has to attend, we use head. So that is what is going to create the learning gap. So, husband and wife relationship, the only proven for a healthy relationship is to learn together. It can be life or it can be anything. There should be one learning between each other. There should be common interest that they both participate and do something. Learning and doubt. Okay? Clarity for the questions another person is. There is nothing called as silly questions. There is nothing called as, maturity. Okay, if you are bringing your innocence, there is no room for evaluation. You'll only evolve. And the third is conflicts. Even Shiva Shakti had conflicts. You will know the story. They did fight, but how did they resolve? So conflicts are there. When two human beings come together, they are not created alike. So difference of opinions. But the matter is, how do you navigate in the whole process? And insight about each other as an individual. And how do you rest and how do you renew your energy? So this is about the Chitta Ritu. So likewise, there are the Sambandha Ritu. Sambandha is also a cycle. Relationship is also a cycle. Today you are daughter to somebody, tomorrow you'll become mother to someone. Okay, that keeps expanding, that keeps growing, that keeps moving. So attraction to adjustment to conflicts. How do you deal with the conflicts? Conflicts to distance. How do you work on the distance? Through understanding. How do you understand? By renewing the energy. How do you renew the energy? Through companionship. So it's a beautiful cycle. Sambandha is a cycle. So how do I pedal? It's not one person bicycle, it is two people pedaling together. How do you pedal that rhythm of life? Is the rhythm. And finally, one of my favorite ritu is the feminine and the masculine ritu, the cycles of it's beautiful. So, feminine Ritu is full of emotions. It's full of emotions. It's about relationship misunderstanding, how misunderstanding happens, how do you deal with it, how the emotions are spoken out through languages or through without languages, the gestures, everything comes as Shakti. And how do you make your decisions? How do you generate the solutions for the existing problems? And how do you make your life the future tense and the past tense? How do you handle them? Is all about the consciousness, Shiva. So, this is also a cycle. You make mistakes, you learn from that, you grow. You make mistakes, you learn from that, you grow. Okay. So this is about Ritupadi. So when we are keeping our foot forward, there is one commitment that I am in all your rhythms. Okay, whenever you go, rise up, I'm going to rise with you. Whenever you fall down, you can find me right beside. So what is happening in today's world? When somebody is rising, they are taking five people with them. And when they are falling, they don't see none. Yeah, that is when we are losing on that rhythmic cycle in our life. That is what is affecting our sambandha, sharira, bhava, feminine energy, masculine energy, and the complete conflicts. And the last one is sakya. Sakya padi is I'll be your friend. When nothing exists, friendship exists. And you both be the great friends. That is the best relationship, companion relationship in Iha and Para, both. So, this is about what was Saptapadi when Shiva explains everybody as Adi Guru. Why this seven steps required. Nowadays, you see people spend on the flower decoration, seven steps and the flower decoration, like 30,000, 40,000, stepping on flowers, taking, pictures, putting them on status and all that. According to me, that is not the Saptapadi, but nobody is there, I think, to educate those who really walk into their life. It's how you really walk into your life. It's not about slow motion videos, it's nothing like that. You are walking into each other's life, and there is a rhythm that is required, and that rhythm is Saptapadi. So this is what Shiva narrates about the whole thing, and they get closer by mind, by body, and by wisdom. And they look into each other's eyes, and here Daksha is watching Shiva being so intelligent, and that Ahankara will not leave him to really accept that his son-in-law is so intelligent, so wise. But he is pretending as if he know everything, as if everything is there, and this is something is not acceptable, because women is something to be treated this way, men is a high order animal. So that way he projects. There is the conversation that happens between Daksha and Vijaya. Vijaya is the elder sister of Sati. I have explained that she came back, and she will be having a lot of jealousy on Sati, because after her birth, Daksha's favorite daughter will be Sati, not Vijaya. So that thing she has in mind, and she will go to Daksha and tell, don't get agitated with the whole thing. Stay calm. Okay, we are going to resolve. What happens if she gets married? We will break it. So how many days she is going to live with this, beggar? And how many days she is going to tolerate his thinking? Look at him, he is not handsome. So she's so beautiful. One or the other day, we will be the reason, we will poison her mind and see that they will separate. Daksha is so happy to listen from Vijaya. Abba, there is somebody who can understand me. You're the daughter that I wanted. Rest are all waste fellows. So he's so happy conversing with Vijaya. Now, Sati is ready to leave, and all her sisters, mother are all crying. She wants to take blessings from Daksha. Daksha is unavailable, and everybody knows, this is what is going to happen. So Sati is quite bold, and she is so happy that she has married somebody whom she really wanted to, and feels so blessed. There comes an invitation from Dadiji. So he will tell Shiva, I want you to visit my ashram. Never you have come there. That was the place where Sati found you first. So the Rudraksha. So you have to visit. Your path sparsha is very important. That is when Shiva decides, okay, let me come to this place. So there is a temple in Tamil Nadu which is Tenupuradishwara temple. That is the place where Dadichi's ashram was there, and since he sacrificed his bones, I'm going to narrate this story later. But whoever visits this temple, you're going to wipe off the Purva karmas or Prarabdha karmas. So that is said in the Puranas. So Sati, his wife invites Sati, and both of them agree to visit the ashram. So now both of them visit the ashram and they were being welcomed so very well. And Dadiji's wife is so happy that Shiva Shakti has come home and she is preparing the most delicious food on the planet. And they are inviting all the Saptarishis. Saptarishis are sitting in the Gnana Sabha, and Sanat Kumaras do come because Gnana Sabha is when Saptarishis sit with Shiva, and sometimes the Sanat Kumaras, who are the mind children of Brahma, who is born out of Brahma's intellect. So they do come, and they see there is another person sitting there with so much of radiance, which is not keeping Sanat Kumaras happy. Okay, who is this person? Was an Iksha Prashna. So then Dadichi introduced him. He is Atharva. He has made a construct, a human construct. You know how who are human beings? How can they use intelligence? How can they live happily? And how can they make use of your creation? All that as a Veda. Would you like to listen to his recitation? Sanat Kumaras will be very angry. No, no, no. Already Rigveda is there. Already Yajurveda is there. Samaveda is there. What is the need of the fourth Veda? Even today, when you look at the research paper presentation, you see only these kind of conflicts. My research is important. My research, a lot of efforts have gone in. So it existed during the Adi time also. But Shiva is such an unbiased person. He will tell Atharva, come on, recite your Veda. After listening, we can evaluate if this can be considered as a Veda or not. Now, who is this Atharva? So, Atharva is born to Brahma and Vagdevi. Brahma, when he wanted to listen his own creation, listen to his creation, understand. So he's creating and he want to feel his creation through Shabda. That is when Vagdevi was born. So Vak Shakti is the way we communicate, and Vagdevi is the one who give us that kind of energy to communicate. So a child born to Brahma and Vagdevi, when they come together, the Gnan and the Vak come together, Atharva is born. Atharva's son is Angirasa. Okay, again, it is not born out of a female body, not a womb, Okay, Angirasa was born out of the intellect of Atharva. So Angirasa was born, and his son is Brihaspati. So that is why he is the owner of knowledge. So knowledge has the flow of knowledge from Brahma to Vagdevi to Atharva, Atharva to Angirasa, Angirasa to Brihaspati. So this is a story. So when he started reciting, there were common men who were sitting and listening, develop the aura 18 feet to 30 feet because they realized the potential. So Atharva Veda is like that. Rig Veda is praising Panchabhutas, praising the creation. And what is Yajurveda? Yajurveda has two portions, two segments. Krishna Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda, that is the sacred actions. So that is Yajurveda, the actions which fall into darkness and brightness, with the sun and without sun. We can understand that. So that becomes Krishna and the Shukla Yajurveda. And Samaveda is the musical note, rhythm of life, melody of our voice. Everything comes under Samaveda. So that was not enough. It was not understood by a common man. They were not able to relate. But Atharva Veda, a common man was able to relate, sense their potential. Okay, so Atharva Veda speaks about cosmic order, how this cosmos was created. What is the cosmic order and the secrets of cosmic energies. If you read Osho's Secrets, okay, complete Atharvana Veda it is. Okay, it's a beautiful book. If you give 30 seconds, I can show you. This is the book. Okay, so this is a 1300 pager book and complete Atharvana Veda. Okay, in a way, a layman like me can understand easily what is this about. It speaks about the psychology, it speaks about social life, and it does speaks about transformation. So that is when Shiva could see common man getting into that radiance and getting into that kind of aura, and it really brought pleasant feeling to Shiva that it is a tool to manifest. Okay, so he said, why can't this become the fourth Veda? And it was named after Atharva, that this is going to be yours, that is Atharvana Veda. So Sati and Shiva, with their sacred hands, establish the center for Atharvana Veda. Even today, in Tenupuradishwara temple, yearly twice or thrice, there is the Atharvana Veda Patha, where people from different part of the country come and chant Veda, though very few people know the meaning, but chanting keeps going on. So this is about the birth of Atharvana Veda. Now Shiva Shakti wants to reach Kailasa, and they will leave to Kailasa, and there is welcoming that is happening, and all these ganas have decorated the Kailasa in whichever way, whatever way the intellect they have. So Sati is so happy that there is somebody who wants them in their life. Sati is very happy with the way they welcome her with all leaves and flowers, the broken petals and all that. And Andar ke andar Shiva is smiling. Come on, enter into my life. This is what you are going to see. Looking at this, Lakshmi and Vishnu are not happy. Look, she is your sister. Sati is your sister. And do you want her to lead this kind of life? I think at least for 16 days, she has to be happy. So, Vishnu comes with two people, Manmatha and Rati. Who is this Manmatha? Manmatha is born out of Brahma's desire. Okay, he was just creating. There was no kick in Brahma. He told Vishnu, I'm fed up of creation. Okay, this is so stereotypical. There is nothing new. There is nothing that is when Vishnu will process his creative juices. That is when Manmata was born out of the desire of Brahma, holding a sugarcane bow and a flower arrow. Okay, who is this Rati? Rati is born out of joy of Brahma. When he saw Manmatha, he was so beautiful. Ah, desire looks like this, is it? That is when Rati was born. The joy of Brahma resulted in Rati. So they are inseparable. Desire and joy. Okay. So both of them came to Kailasa, and Rati went to Sati, started decorating her, and Manmata started creating Kailasa with beautiful, colorful paints and pillars and all that. Shiva smilingly looking at both of them, their creativity and all that, and smiling within. Because he is one person who knows Adi and Antya, everything, and smiling at his own fate. And there is no one that you can see sitting on a rock and smiling for a bad fate that he is going to lose this person in few days, but still keeping himself in the most calmest way and giving that divine smile, because that is why we call him Prajapati. He lived for us. And Sati will ask Rati, okay? So you both have come and you have come to decorate me. And tell me why Shiva became Vairag. And Rati starts explaining Sati why Shiva became Vairagi. It's the most emotional part of Shiva Purana. He stopped combing. He used to have a silky hair. He stopped combing because he has taken in the knots of our life. Whatever conflicts we have, it's not us dealing with it, it's Shiva. So that is why his hair is knotted. It's all our conflicts, it's all our confusion, it's everything is us. And the tears is flowing in Sati's eyes. Oh my God, can somebody be this? Yes, you have married somebody who is that. And why is he Basmadhari? Okay, he has given us beauty. He has given the nature which is beautiful. He is taking everything that is not necessary and putting it on his body. You know, something that is not eatable, something that we can't wear, something that is stinking, something that is throwable, something that has no life is Shiva's favorite because he is giving up that life for us. And he has sacrificed his clothes. Why is he a Digambara? Why is he a Charmambara? Why is he not wearing the silk clothes and everything? The day he started covering our body and protecting our flesh and blood, that day he left wearing clothes for us because he's a protector. you know so like that, Shiva kept on sacrificing one after the other another just for us to feel protected, just to protect us and prevent us from more damages. That is why he is Jagat Pita and Adi Guru, who doesn't talk but his action is this. If somebody asks you why he is a Vairagi, it's not to show up or it's not a sacrifice. He did deliberately because that was the replacement work that he did. If we are happy, smiling, content, and having beautiful aestheticity around, it's only because of the Paramatma's sacrifice for us. He replaced all his joyful elements for us to feel happy and honor the creativity. So that is why Shivasya Hrudayam Vishnu, Vishnusya Hrudayam Shiva. So if we have to honor Vishnu's aestheticity, we need to honor the sacrifice of Shiva. If we have to honor the sacrifice of Shiva, we need to open our eyes and see the aesthetic beauty around and be part of our nature. So I will stop at this. And Sati couldn't control her emotions for Shiva, and her respect for this person multiplied. I'll stop at this. And in the next session, Sati Kanda doesn't end here. In the next session, Sati Dahana, we're going to listen to it.
So these are the times when we feel that time could be stagnant or time can go a little slow so that we can listen to it. And thank you, Asha ma'am, for bringing us those things that we always heard of but never knew. We heard of Saptapadi, but what each Saptapadi meant, right? It is not just seven steps that we take in as a ritual, each carry a meaning. And how Atharvana Veda, which is almost conflicted, most non, whenever we say Veda Patana, we don't see Atharvana Veda being recited in multiple places. We know why it is and what is the importance of it and what the legacy of knowledge that we carry. Thank you, Ashama. So, any questions? I think we can take one question.
One question. Yeah.
Yeah, one question. And there was multiple questions, ma'am. Before we take, can you mention the book and the author which you just displayed?
The Book of Secrets from Osho.
The Book of Secrets. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions regarding the sessions that we had today?
So probably everybody is processing the information, I believe. Maybe in the next session, we're going to talk more on this and then start the narration.
I think, ma'am, Bhavisha has posted a message, a question. Ma'am, since being introduced to Daksha in Chintana, I have realized that there are so many Daksha like figures in the world, whether they are authority figures or not. A lot of men perform concern when they actually want control.
Hmm.
How to deal with such people
Okay.
where
How see?
control is masked as concern?
Hmm. So there are three ways of dealing with it. There is a concern called Vithanda. Okay, there's a concern called Viruddha and the concern called Viparyasa. So what does that mean? Concern which is against you. For you, it is not a concern. For another person, in the name of concern, might be controlling you. Which is Viruddha. And Vithanda, rigidity. This is my words. It is for your own good. Please follow this. Okay? That is Vithanda. Viparyasa is my bhakti and my love for another person is making me just like that fall. So, how to handle this? There is a beautiful concept in Vedanta. Again, in Shiva Purana, we will be speaking about this. There is the altered intellect. What is that altered intellect? So, Vijnana, when it is associated with Pragnana also. So, if the person is rigid, if the person is walking opposite to your direction, or if person is creating irony in life, how to handle if the person is walking opposite direction? What happens when the wind is blowing opposite to you? How do you stand? How do you stand? Against the wind, is it?
Yes, so that
Face
we
the
can.
wind
What
direction.
happens when you stand against the wind? Wind is going to push you.
Yeah, will
Yeah.
fall.
What happens when you face the flow of the wind? You get carried
Pushed.
away.
Yeah.
So you need to choose in between. Okay? If you stand against that person, you are going to fall. You are going to break. They see that you break. Okay? If you are going to go along with it, you get carried away, you get lost. Okay, choose an assertive way of telling no. Okay, that is an art. That is Vak Chaturya. There are Chaturya, four kinds of talking. Okay, so I'll be speaking about Chaturya in the next session, Vak Chaturya, when Sati again asks a question and there is Rati, which is going, who is going to reply for that. So, Vak Chaturya. So the second thing is the rigidity. Somebody is standing strong and telling you this is what it is. So what happens when you start, start kneading a rock, thinking it is a dough? You get hurt. Is will there be any change with your efforts that you are putting? Stop participate. Stop arguing. Stop giving them reasons, justification. Please stop. Okay? Because this rock doesn't understand your effort. You'll only get hurt. Okay, silence, smile is the answer. Okay? Viparyasa. When people create viparyasa in your life, irony in your life, okay, you thought that this person is A and the person is behaving like B. Okay, that is when you have to stop making meanings. Deal with it with reality, bringing clarity into everything that you associate and do with the person. Okay, I think I have answered this question. I'm going to take up, Vak Chaturya in the next session. And here I'm going to, I wanted a minute. And hearty congratulations, Monica, for this book.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is a beautiful book. I recommend those who are want to know more about Garbha Sanskar, and this is a beginner's guide, and you will be able to understand pregnancy in detail, and you are going to understand the cradle of consciousness, the title of the book. I think I'm giving you the feedback, Monica, here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So, Cradle of Consciousness is a wonderful title. Cradle, you are so protected and your consciousness is protected. So, whose consciousness are we speaking about? The developing consciousness, not the developed consciousness. So, the one who is going to be born and his or her consciousness, how that can be protected in Garbha is all about this beautiful book. And heart congratulations, Monica. And a lot of efforts have gone in, especially in bringing the action plans. It's not, this book doesn't speak about the questions, it speaks about the answers to a lot of existing questions. What next? Okay, I know this. What next? So, this book is an answer. So, wonderful book. And can you click a picture? And I'm so happy because more authors, I encourage authoring because that's how people will know experience. See, my Garbha Sanskar book and this book is not same. My Garbha Sanskar book is completely technical by nature, but this is a lay person can understand. For a person who wants to know Garbha Sanskar, who wants to read it in length and width. So for anybody who have the passion of knowing the beginning of the story, this book is a wonderful choice. And I welcome all the authors here. Keep writing and writing. So give me more opportunities to show books like this. And Monica, inspire everybody here.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much. And on 10th, I'm launching my book on Atma Vimarsha. So it is this book is a gentle conversation between Ram and Vasishta and Yudhishthira and Bhishma, which is going to give the 7 methodologies for counseling. It's a very hardcore counseling methodology. Of course, it is a technical book with the essence of ancient wisdom. Wherever you feel those blockages in counseling or feel like stuck, what next or something, this book is an answer. So I have tried my best to justify. So please encourage the authors here, whoever wants to write the book, you always have me here. So thank you so much. And this Chintana is a forum where fortunately I have got like-minded people where I can express myself and also see people coming forward and expressing and explaining everything. Let's keep this going on. Let's increase the numbers. Let's make it big. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Asha ma'am. Congratulations, Monica,
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
such a beautiful book. And to add on to what Atmavimarsha, with my few conversations, which I said to all the counselors here, kindly make sure that you get a book of Atmavimarsha once it's released, because it answers a lot of dilemmas counselors that we go through. Ethical dilemma, when the boundaries, and when is the right time to care for self. Because ma'am, whatever we are understanding, a lot of burnout is happening among the mental health
Yes.
professionals, and this particular approach, ma'am, has given a lot of answers that we always had, and that lack of information about when to stop. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you all
Thank
for your
you.
time, and we'll be waiting for the book to be released, and I
Sure.
suggest you all have a copy with yourselves to keep it as a guidelines when to stop, not
Yeah.
when to
Thank
start.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.